what you can do to make $100,000 in 2020. You guys know me. I've got my worksheets. I've got outlines. I've got important notes for you guys. So what I want you to do is I want you to go and I want you to get a pen and paper, because this is going to be a jam-packed, value-packed training. So I want you to get a pen and paper, and when you're ready, I want you to comment ready. What we're going to do is you and I, right now, right here, we are going to map out your 2020 plan. And I'm going to share with you all of the important tactics that you guys need to know that I've learned over the last couple of years for hitting your income goals year after year after year after year, right? I've always hit my income goals. It's not an accident. So let me get my own notebook out. Let me get my own piece of paper out. Guys, I want to show you my adorable notebook. Hold on, let me go and let me show you guys my notebook, and we're going to get started here. Because this is the cutest thing that I've ever seen, I think at least. So this is my notebook. On the front it says, going places. Is that not the cutest thing you've ever seen? Going places. I think it's adorable. And we're going to, right now, map out and exactly what you guys are going to do in order to make $100,000 in 2020. Because the first thing that I'm going to say is think of this like bonus or tip number one. The first thing that I want you guys to know is that it is possible for you. It's possible, right? And so the first thing we're going to talk about is a lot of mindset things. You guys know me. I've got my outline. I've got everything. And we're going to talk about mindset, and we're going to talk about actual strategies, and we're going to get really freaking practical. You want to make 100K in 2020. First of all, I want you to know that it's entirely possible. 2020, for each and every one of us watching, is going to be a huge year. I feel it in my bones. I get these intuitions, right? 2020 is going to be a year of phenomenal growth for you. If you believe, type yes, right? If you agree that 2020 is going to be a year of dramatic change for you, comment yes. Step number one, we've got to talk about this, is your mindset. The number one thing that will keep you from making $100,000 in 2020 is your mindset, right? And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that, the number one thing, first and foremost, that we have got to get in order before we begin the new year is your mindset. And I think that word is just tossed out a lot, right? It's, oh, you got to have abundance mindset, all of this. And it's because mindset is key, right? Mindset really is key. But I don't know about you guys, but when I first started, right? When I first started, I didn't know what to work on. I didn't know what to focus on. I didn't know how to channel my mindset or, get rid of my poverty mindset. I didn't know how to do any of that, right? I just had no idea what to do. So when I say mindset, I'm going to share with you what's been very helpful to me. Because again, I've hit multiple six figures for multiple years in a row now. So I've hit my income goal time and time and time again. And I credit it to mindset. But you guys know me. I'm a diva. And what I mean by that is if it's not simple, I just don't do it. Right? So all of these, mindset things that your advice or tips that people gave, they weren't bad, but they were so freaking complicated. I had no idea what to do. I had no idea how to implement. So for me, when I say check your mindset, here's a couple basic things you've got to do and stop doing, right? So the do's and don'ts in 2020, right? So I'm going to get, let's see, I'm going to pick, I have a whole pen. Look at this, guys. This is from my friend Jackie. Not girl boss, not lady boss, just boss. And then on the back it says my name. Isn't she the sweetest? Okay, so I think I'm gonna do a blue pen because I love blue. And we're gonna map out the do's and don'ts of 2020. So hitting your income goals in 2020, what are the basic mindset do's? You do have to do a daily mindset check. So daily mindset check. And that can look, again, you guys know me, I do it like this, right? So I teach visually. Now this daily mindset check can look like a lot of different things. For me, what I do, I don't know why the coloring is so weird. See if I can let in more light in here. There we go. That was super weird. It got weird. Okay, let me open up there we go. That might be a little better. So the daily mindset check for me looks like a daily assessment where I say, okay, what went well? What didn't go well today? And how's my mindset doing? So I'm literally just asking, and you can rate it on a scale of like 1 to 10, with 1 being absolutely horrible, like I was really upset and I was really stressed and I just was really feeling scarcity mindset, with 1 being scarcity and 10 being abundance. Where did I rank today? And I want us to do a check-in right now. Let's do a practice check-in. So in the comments right now, in the comments, I want you to say if 1 is scarcity and 10 is abundance mindset on an average day, and let's just maybe use today, for example, on an average day, how would you rate yourself? I'm going to use myself for an example. On an average day, I'm probably an 8. I have really good days where I'm a 10 and it's awesome and I make so much money and I love it. But my average is probably about an 8. And maybe a year ago, I would have rated a 6 or a 7, maybe a 7 a year ago. So I want to see in the comments, again, I want to see how you would rank yourself right now. If 1 is I generally have scarcity mindset, I'm generally stressed about bills, I'm generally struggling to believe clients will work with me, I'm generally not sure how I'm going to make money in my business. From 1 to 10, with 10 being I'm super abundant, I make tons of money, my bills are fully paid, I'm debt-free or really debt-free or close to being debt-free, how would you rate yourself? So first thing you're going to do is a daily mindset check, right? We're talking about mindset things that you need to do in order to hit your income goals for 2020, right? So the first thing you've got to do is a daily mindset check. Second thing, and this is going to take a lot of work, right? So again, it's not hard, but this is going to take a lot of work, is you've got to rewrite and we'll say heal or uproot or mend or disempower. There's lots of different words we can use here. But essentially what we're doing is we're rewriting or healing or uprooting or mending or disempowering our beliefs that no longer serve us, that do not serve, beliefs that do not serve. And all of us have them right now. All of us, each and every one of us, we have these beliefs that we need to heal, uproot, mend, and disempower. We all have them, right? But how do you uproot them? How do you heal them? How do you overcome the limiting beliefs that are keeping you right now, I get so excited thinking about it, that are keeping you right now from achieving your income goals in 2020? How do you uproot them? How do you work on fixing, healing, breaking, whatever you want to, whatever word you want to use, everyone's got a different word, but how do you essentially let go of those limiting beliefs that no longer serve you? Well, the first step is to realize, 1, it is a process that takes time. Guys, I started my business back in 2013 and I've made phenomenal progress since 2013, but that did not always happen. I've had to work really hard at it. And I'm nowhere near where I want to be. Full transparency, not where I want to be. I still have limiting beliefs that are holding me back. Right now, I am terrified to up-level. I've got a mentor to help me get to $1 million in revenue. Scares the bejesus out of me. That's so outside my comfort zone. You have no idea. So that's a limiting belief for me, is that, oh, if I hit $1 million, XYZ is going to happen. I'll have to work too hard, or I'll have to, I'll just get too big, or whatever it might be. You've got to let go of the beliefs that no longer serve you. And the first step in that is to realize that it's a process. And it's a process we're going to be continually working at, right? So that's step 1. Step 2 is to do what I personally call rabbit hole journaling. This is what works for me. Rabbit hole journaling is where you take the surface limiting belief. So maybe my surface limiting belief is that hitting $1 million, or we'll use you guys for example, hitting 100K is going to take too much work. That's a limiting belief that some of them have. That's a surface level limiting belief, right? But and so we write that down, right? I believe that making 100K will take too much work. That's the first surface level limiting belief, right? And then, so then you go to the next step. Well, why do you believe that it's going to take so much work? Well, because my dad was really successful and he worked all the time, right? And then you ask the question, why again? Well, why do you believe that because your dad did that, you have to? Because I'm like my dad in this way. So eventually you're going to keep asking the question why, and you're going to go down the rabbit hole until eventually you get to this core limiting belief. And it's something that you usually believe about yourself, and it's usually coming from a place of childhood trauma, childhood wounds, right? That is when and it's usually going to be a belief that because when you say it out loud, it's going to sound silly, right? It's usually this limiting belief where as soon as we speak it out loud, we can instantly identify that it's not true, right? But then once you get to that core limiting belief, you're going to ask yourself, well, what is the truth in this situation? So maybe for me, it's I don't believe that I'm good enough to see success. Maybe that's my deepest, most limiting belief, right? I don't believe that I can hit 100K because deep down, I don't believe I'm good enough. Maybe that's your limiting belief, right? Well, what is true for that, right? Clearly, when I say that out loud, I know that I'm a good person. I know that I am of value. I know that I show up and I deliver value. So when there's all these things that are actually true that are going to counteract and reframe my limiting belief. So it's a rewriting or healing or uprooting or mending or disempowering your limiting beliefs is a two-step process. It's a two-step process with one being realizing it's it's a process, it's going to take time. And two, rabbit hole journaling. So that is the second do for your mindset. If you want to hit 100K in 2020, that's the second thing you've got to do in the mindset categories. You've got to rewrite and heal your limiting beliefs. And the third is you have got to make practicing gratitude your best friend, right? And I'm not talking about genuinely expressing gratitude when you're feeling like it. I'm talking about the kind of gratitude where excuse my language, but you're losing your shit in the shower, or you're having a mental breakdown because you're looking at your bills, or whatever it might be. You are absolutely in the clutches of scarcity mindset, and you don't know how you're going to make ends meet, and you don't know how you're going to hit your income goals, and oh my gosh, how could I have ever thought that I was going to do 100K in 2020, and you are just in the thick of it. But in that moment, instead of freaking out, you choose to sit down and write out a list of 10 things you're grateful for, and you get specific with it, and you feel those feelings of gratitude. That is the kind of gratitude mindset you've got to have if you want to hit your 100K in 2020. It's real, serious dedication to expressing gratitude consistently, no matter how you feel. And I get fired up about it because I know for sure that the number one reason why I've hit my income goals 3 years in a row is because I've made it a point to prioritize my gratitude no matter how I was feeling in the moment. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. Wow. I'm going to take a deep breath, but I'm telling you guys, if you want the number one thing that is going to shift you from scarcity mindset to abundance mindset, from 30K to 100K, it is expressing gratitude. And that is something that I wish I learned 6 years ago, not 3 years ago. Gratitude will shift and change your life. And if you're not expressing gratitude right now, there's a gap in your income, and I bet you're feeling it. So I'm going to take a deep breath. I want to check in with you guys. How are you feeling? I've never gone on a rant like that before, but it's important to me and it's personal to me. How are you feeling? Check in with me. What are your thoughts while I take my sip of water and get off my soapbox? What are your thoughts? If you had to rate let's do it this way. If you had to rate your gratitude right now on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate yourself? Similar to your general mindset belief, what would you rate yourself? Gratitude is the key, guys. That's the number one thing that you've got to start prioritizing in 2020. Is it in the moment? And I'm going to not go on a rant again. That's it. But in 2020, if you're serious about hitting 100K, you've got to practice gratitude bare minimum daily, and bare minimum in those freak out moments where you're like, oh my gosh, how am I paying my bills? For me, it's more money, more problems. And I hate to say that because that's a limiting belief. Don't believe what I just said there. That's a limiting belief right there that just came up. But it is true in the sense that now I have 8 people on my team that rely on me. So paying your bills is one thing. Being responsible for 9 people's bills total, whole nother set of limiting beliefs that come up for that, right? So all of that to say, whatever level we're at, whether we're trying to get to 1 million or trying to get to 100K in 2020, whatever goal that is for us, gratitude is the key to shifting from scarcity mindset to abundance mindset. And we're going to go into the practical strategies now. So we did the mindset stuff. We understand the importance of it. Mindset is key. Mindset is the foundational. There was a post in this group, literally just a couple days ago, where someone was like, what's the biggest shift that got you to making 7K consistently? Everyone said gratitude. Gratitude is key. So let's go practical here. We're talking about making 100K in 2020. Let's talk practical strategies. And I'm going to start with the mistakes that people make when they say, oh, I want to hit 100K in 2020. 2020 is my year. I'm going to rock it. And they get all excited. And that's not a bad thing. I'm freaking here for it, right? That's not a bad thing. But let's get freaking practical with it. Because if you're charging, let's say, $15 an hour, it's going to be pretty hard for you to make $100,000 in 2020, if not impossible. Not saying it's impossible, nothing's impossible, but the numbers don't add up. So the first mistake that people make is when they say they want to hit $100,000 in 2020, they don't actually sit down and map it out and make sure that the numbers make sense. So they don't calculate, okay, how many clients can I realistically take on? What is my schedule going to look like? What does that all look like? They just have this arbitrary $100,000. And again, I've been doing this for 6 years. So I've been seeing the income goals come in for, 2013, I'm going to make 100K. 2014, I just see it every year. And the biggest mistake I see that they make is that there's no correlation between the actual numbers and this arbitrary goal of 100,000, right? So we have to sit down and actually have to plan it out. So step one is to ask yourself, why the heck do you want to hit 100K? Is it a personal milestone? If so, that's cool. That's fine. It's not bad to have 100,000 be your personal milestone, but you have to have a why bigger than that. Is it so you can quit your job? Is it so you can pay off debt? Is it so that you can travel to X friends, some XYZ's friends' destination wedding? What's the why behind the $100,000? You've got to have a why, because when you're deeply connected to your why, you get fired up, right? Everyone at this point knows. If you don't, now you know. My husband and I are working hard to pay out our student loans, because I believe that being debt-free is one of the first steps in building real wealth. I am not interested in internet brownie points, right? I'm not interested in fake dollar amounts. I'm interested in building real wealth. One of the keys to real wealth is being debt-free. So our why is deeply connected to our goals for our future, right? I know exactly why I want to make down to the penny, because I know I want to be debt-free, right? It's not a bad thing to talk about. So building wealth for me is the tie. It's my deep connection to my goal. So first thing you got to ask is why. Why 100K, right? We got the question why down here, right? Once you know why, the next step is to map out the numbers, right? So map out let's just say the logistics of all of this, right? So what do I mean by, here we go, here's the logistics. What do I mean by logistics? Well, what I mean by logistic is just seeing, logistics, is this logical, right? So think logistics, logical. Does this game plan actually make sense? Because if you're only charging, let's say you're only charging a course for $100, let's just say. You have a course for $100, but you only have an audience of 500 people, that's going to be impossible to hit that goal. The numbers just aren't logical, right? Because let's run some numbers, right? If I wanted to have let's say if I want $100,000 and I sold a course for, let's just say $297, right? I have to sell 336 spots in that course, right? In that course. But my audience size is only 500, and we know that only about 2% of audiences will convert. So 2%, so 500, only 10 people in our current audience is going to buy our course for $297. So the numbers aren't adding up. And if we multiply 10 times $297, we get about $3,000, which, by the way, is why I teach people to sell high-ticket packages. Let's say I sell a high-ticket package for, let's just say, $2,500, right, which is what my clients typically charge. And let's say I have a small audience, and I convert, let's run the numbers again at just the same numbers, 2%. 2% of 500. Now, just on this one offer, just with this one thing I'm doing, instead of making $3,000 because I'm selling a course for $297, I'm selling $25,000, 25K from this one offer, simply because I've actually charged high ticket prices. So I'm telling you, one offer, one high ticket offer that you just focus on and you just promote and sell the absolute bejesus out of will get you to 6 figures. It will. But if you break that rule and you have more than one offer, you're going to double the length of time it takes to get to 6 figures. And that's not even my rule. That's the rule of people that have walked before me, and I'm just parroting what they've taught me and what I've seen in my own business and in my clients' businesses. This is bringing us all the way back to our second point, which is to look at your time and schedule and to be realistic, right? and kind of make the game plan and just kind of run and say, are the numbers actually logical? Are the logistics of this, right? Is this logical? Do the logistics add up? Do the numbers add up? Because what you would find is if you were only charging $297 and you wanted to make 100K, it's not very realistic. When you compare that to Veronica, for example, who has monthly retainers, so it's very few clients per month. That's very realistic, right? That's what we're looking for. That's the kind of thing that actually is going to help you achieve your goal of making 100K in 2020 is rather than trying to force your idea of what it is you want to offer, run it through the numbers first and make sure it's actually going to be realistic, right? Okay, and then finally, if you want to hit $100,000 in 2020, the last thing you need to do is stick to the game plan. Come hell or high water, you need to stick to the game plan you set for yourself this month, right? You need to set you're going to set some goals, you're going to map it all out, and then you need to stick to it. Because what's going to happen is there's going to be some months where you're not feeling motivated, you're not feeling inspired, you're not feeling excited, and you are feeling overwhelmed and you're going to want to quit. You're going to tell myself, it's not realistic. It's not going to happen. Maybe I'll do it next year. But in those moments, you need to say, okay, no, you're going to draw that hard line in the sand, and you're going to say, no, I'm sticking to the game plan that I have set out for myself, right? So I am committed to my game plan that I set for myself at the beginning, and I'm not going to give up. Am I going to fall off track a little bit here and there? Totally, we plan for that. We anticipate that. So if at some point you're gonna want to quit and give up on your goals, your 2020 goals, and what I'm here to tell you guys, and you can tell I'm getting all excited again. I'm getting on my soapbox, is that you must stick to the game plan because you're going to be building traction, and there's going to be times where you want to give up. It's just going to happen. But you've got to stick to that game plan. If you have my holiday bundle, you've really positioned yourself well in December, right? Because here's what I envision for all of you guys watching. Here's my vision for you. If you're watching this right now, here's what I want you to do, right? I want you to, step one, get the holiday bundle. Guys, it's $99. It's got literally thousands and thousands of dollars worth of content in it, all about how to get clients, how to market yourself, how to use social media to make money, how to use your website to get money. Just one thing in there alone is worth more than $99. So get the holiday bundle. If you don't have it already, just get it. It's going to make a really big difference for 2020, and I want you to hit your goals. I want you to be empowered to actually show up and achieve your goals, right? So step one, get the holiday bundle, $99, and map out your plan for 2020. Map out your plan for 2020, because I don't want you to start working on your 2020 goals in 2020. I want you to start working on your 2020 goals in 2019, right now. I want you to get your goals, or map out your goals in 2020. I want you to get a head start on the new year so that when everyone else is running around like chickens with their head cut off because they're just starting on their goals in December or in January 2020, you've already had a month's head start. Right? That's my goal for you. That's my vision for you. So, step number 2, map out 2020. I want you to do this in this month, right? I want you to do this in 2019. Like I said, map out 2020, including running the numbers, right? Running the numbers. That's super important, right? Run the numbers on, is this going to be logistical or not? Does this make sense? Do the numbers add up? 3, craft the game plan. Babe, you just ran all the numbers. Now break it down into quarters, break it down into months, break it down into weeks. You should know what you are doing every single freaking week from now until December 2020. You should know what you're doing to achieve your goals. You've got to do that, right? So craft the game plan. Step 4 is to execute, right? Execute the game plan and stick to it. Stick to it. And then bonus is really bonus. It's not even 5. It's like 1. It's to do the mindset work. And it's like bonus tip / 0 tip because you just need to do it continually. It's not part of the steps. It's just more continually. Do the mindset work. Work on your limiting beliefs. Really commit to learning. Let me tell you guys, I noticed a really big shift in my income when I committed to learning everything that I could about making money, investing it, managing it, making it. When you commit to learning about how to make money, your income rises. And that's the dumbest, most simplest version. It's so simple. When you learn about making more money, you make more money. But sometimes it needs to be said. I had to be hit over the head with a brick. I had to read that someone else concentrating on learning how to make money, and then they made more money. And it's such a simple thing to say, but maybe that's the sign you needed. Maybe you needed me to be on the live stream saying, hey, you want to hit your goals in 2020, learn how to make money. And if you want a head start on that, buy my holiday bundle. It's got, again, all my high-level programs that I usually charge high-ticket prices for. You can get access to them for $99. We've had literally over 400 students join, and they're all loving it. So get the holiday bundle if you haven't had it yet. If you want it, comment bundle. If you want to learn more about it, if you want to learn what's included, if you want to see if it's a good fit for you, comment bundle, and I'll make sure you get a link, right? So start commenting bundle if you want more info. I'll tell you who the bundle's for. If you're a service provider, if you're a coach, if you're in direct sales, if you're in e-commerce, if you're wanting to start an online business, there's a lot of helpful content in there. This bundle is for you. There's something in it for everyone, and all of it is phenomenal content. I believe in this bundle. I just freaking love it. I really do. And especially for $99 instead of around $5,000, you really can't go wrong. So if you want more info on the bundle, comment bundle, and I'll give you the link to it. Okay, so this is the last call for the holiday bundle. If you want to learn how to take your business to the next level in 2020, this holiday bundle has everything that you need. Getting clients online, growing your business, growing your brand, creating a website that actually sends you clients, booking more calls, growing your Facebook group. Everything that I have ever created to help you grow your businesses is available for $99 instead of $4,970. Whether you own a brick and mortar business or you do your business online, this is going to teach you how to grow your business using social media, using online marketing, organic marketing tips. So if you want info on the bundle, comment bundle, and my assistant Yolandi will send you the link to more information, and I will see you on the other side of the bundle. The thing I want to leave you with is if you're serious about hitting your income goals in 2020, capitalize on December. Do not waste this month. We have 28 days left in the month. 28 days. Do not waste them. Make the most of them. If you've bought my bundle, roll up your sleeves and just dive right in. If you're buying my bundle, hit the checkout button and just grab it and get started, because I want you to maximize every single one of these last 28 days, because we are stepping into a new era, a new decade, and it's just a new chapter for all of us watching. So make the most of December. And if you need the link to the bundle, comment bundle. Yolandi's going to make sure you get it. And I'll see you on the other side of that bundle.